Good afternoon and welcome to what is affectionately known as the Old Gym here at Gilman School. My name is Brooks Matthews, and those of you who have watched GTV in the past know this has been a student production. And so unfortunately, you are stuck with me instead of one of our more polished and entertaining student commentators. Like many other unusual circumstances this year, the odd timing of numerous concurrent sports activities have thinned our crew, but we still wanted to make sure that we could bring you today's wrestling action. To overcome my flaws, however, we are lucky to be joined by Mr. Bill Gamper for today's broadcast. Bill, you wrestled for Gilman before matriculating in wrestling at Yale University, and although you spent a few misguided years at other institutions, you have served numerous roles throughout the Gilman community. But no matter what your job description has been, you remain, at your core, a Gilman wrestler. Thank you for joining us to provide some expertise. What should we expect to see today?
Well, before I go there, let me first just say that the expertise, maybe I understand the sport, but I've never done this commentating, but I'm going to do my best. Today, I'm hoping that the young squad that we have will take a couple of steps forward. They're going to face some good wrestlers from Mount St. Joe, and they are going to have some great matches. The matchups look good. Some good wrestlers are going to be wrestling good wrestlers, and some of the more inexperienced wrestlers are matched up together as well. So I'm hoping that this young squad, and in this shortened season, will get a little bit more experience and be ready for the last two matches next week, and it's sort of a preseason we hope for next year.
Yeah, befitting this highly compressed season, Coach, this is Gilman's fourth match in 8 days. How does that affect these wrestlers?
Well, I don't think it should affect them at all. In a normal season, they'd be wrestling a dual meet or a tri-meet, even a quad meet during the week, and then often wrestling in tournaments on weekends. So the amount of wrestling, I don't think, is an issue here, other than the fact there's not going to be enough of it this year.
All right, as you can see at home, we've got 16 matches scheduled for today. So settle in and prepare to see a little bit of everything, but definitely a whole lot of energy, intensity, and competitive wrestling. We begin today's slate with Gilman sophomore Carson Mingo and Mount St. Joseph freshman Bryce Phillips.
Don't know a whole lot about Bryce, but Carson joined the Gilman team this year. His brother RJ wrestled for us last year, and so he is an aggressive kid, needs some mat experience, and this will be a great day for him, and hopefully it will turn out well for him as we go forward.
Yeah, that's a common theme, that we're hearing from the coaches, right? Just as much mat experience as can be earned in this year especially. It's always important. But in this year, when everything's compressed and shortened, any opportunity is a great opportunity. And I think the kids are learning to value those kinds of opportunities.
I think that's true of everybody. Some of these kids do go off and wrestle in tournaments on their own, but I think that's the exception and not the rule. So these 6 MIAA matches have been great, and the coaches have done a great job working to match kids up so that they get some wrestling in and make sure as many kids each meet get a chance to get on the mat.
All right, looks like we're getting set to get going here. So best of luck to all the wrestlers, and thanks for joining us. Active start right away. Bryce Phillips trying to work his way around.
Is a nice snap by. Mingo's got to work the hands. Not a good idea to reach back too often. Bryce has got the legs in, so he's going to try to work the arms forward and flatten Carson out.
That's Carson trying to get to a wide base there, which is usually useful. It's about 45 seconds into our first period here.
Bryce is using an arm bar now. He's going to work the half. He's going to have to come around to that side. Now he's going to drive it forward. No points yet.
trying to work to the back to earn himself some back points after the 2-point takedown. Little over a minute into this first period, so Carson's got some work to do here.
It's a lot of leverage being used right there. Being on the bottom and being worked over is a tough position to be in.
No doubt about it. That's you find out really quickly how difficult wrestling is when you get into this position. He's fighting hard, continuing to fight it. Oh, here goes Bryce. He's got him rolled.
I haven't seen the count, but I'm guessing he's got his 3.
And what is the count? How long does that?
5 counts 3, a 2 counts 2.
And what does he need for the fall, for the pin?
He needs both shoulder blades on the mat for a count of 2.
Carson fights his way.
So we have a 3-point near fall.
Carson fights his way out of it, holds on till the end of the first period. All right, so Bryce Phillips up 5-0.
Carson was given the choice, and he's deferred. And so Bryce gets his choice for the second period. He's taken up. He seems pretty confident that he can break Carson down and score points.
All right, here we go, beginning of the second period of our first match. Carson Mingo and Bryce Phillips. Bryce Phillips is up 5-0 after this first period. Again, Carson with that wide base trying to prevent.
But Bryce is pretty comfortable in using those legs. And Bryce is going to try to extend him and then start to work the arms.
This is Bryce Phillips looks to be a pretty experienced wrestler here for a freshman.
He obviously has had some wrestling in his past. He's now got an arm bar. He's going to tie up the opposite wrist. He's going to try to get that elbow up on his hip and walk that around. Now he brings it back with the half.
1 minute into the second period here.
The half slip. Carson got a little bit of a gap there, but couldn't take advantage of it.
Continuing to fight takes a lot of internal fortitude here to fight through this. Here comes so instead of a cradle there, he's using his leg to bring the leg up, right?
He's bringing the leg up, and he's trying to bring the head under, yeah. Right there.
And that's it. It's going to do it at about 1:31 of the second period. That is a pin for Bryce Phillips. All right, so tough start for the Hounds. Now the action comes fast and furious as we switch to a new mat in COVID world. They'll clean that mat and do the second match on a different mat, but don't turn away. This promises to be one of the most exciting and competitive matches of the day. Bill, what should we know about the Greyhounds' Tyson Sherlock?
Tyson is an experienced freshman. He's done a lot of wrestling on his own, done a lot of freestyle. He has entered some tournaments this past fall, and he's going against Coleman Noggle, who was first in the States and a 4th place winner last year as a freshman at National Preps. So this has the potential to be a good match.
So Tyson, as a freshman, has shown a lot of leadership, according to Coach Holmes. He's been a great wrestler, but an even better teammate, and you can see right away that he's a little bit unorthodox.
I think he is, and I think both of these kids are going to show us some things that you might not see in too many other matches.
And these two are not strangers here.
No, they have not wrestled, but their families have crossed paths. Both of them have a younger brother, and those two have met. These two, this is, I think, their first meeting.
First of probably many.
Probably, yeah.
Between a Sherlock and a Noggle over the next few years.
Yeah, because the younger brothers match up as well.
Yeah, indeed. So, again, good activity. Oh. Noggle gets the takedown. Just over a minute into the first period, we've got our first points. Now we'll see what Noggle tries to work here on Sherlock. Sherlock's up and out. There's his escape point. Oh, and a headbutt there from Noggle.
Okay, so that's they'll start the injury time. That was a penalty point given. The official's estimation that was an unnecessary way to
all right, we're going to take a little bit of a break here while the trainer attends to Sherlock, and we'll come back in just a couple minutes. Okay, and we're back, and that was really fast. Sherlock ready to go. Shook it off. Trainer Nick Pietrozella checked him out, and we're good to go. 25 seconds left here in this first period. It's a 2-2 score here. Takedown for Noggle, an escape, and a penalty point for Sherlock. Noggle, the aggressor again, gets a single leg.
So you're going to see Sherlock hold on to that leg, and if he does, there's no points. And there we get to the end of the period, and we're tied at 2. Again, Gilman won the toss. Tyson deferred, so it's St. Joe's choice.
Choosing neutral.
Choosing neutral.
As we begin the second period here. Again, Noggle's been a little bit more of the aggressor going for the single leg. See if he continues to try to set that up. Sherlock is long, right?
Sherlock is way long, yeah.
That makes it hard to get in there.
But Noggle has been aggressive and has gotten in. He just hasn't been able to complete those shots.
1:30 left here in the second period. Again, after initial burst here, they're trying to feel each other out, it seems. Sherlock's not quite sure, it seems, exactly how he wants to attack Noggle.
Yeah.
There he goes.
He went for a low single, and he got it. Now, well,
get his head out,
I think
right?
you're going to see. You're going to see. I think Noggle counter off a little bit the way Sherlock has been. We have a potentially dangerous situation, so the official stopped the action.
1 minute in the second period, so we're halfway through this match. Again, Noggle gets that leg.
Yeah. And he's reaching for the head.
Sherlock's long, trying to keep his head out. It's interesting arm action there.
Sherlock's got a whizzer in, but Noggle's got that near ankle trapped.
Still no advantage.
If he gets that far leg in, that could be a takedown, but he hasn't gotten it in yet.
So looks like he's giving him the takedown.
Takedown.
10 seconds left in the second period here.
Not sure whether he gave back points.
2 seconds. That's the end of the period.
No back points.
No back points. So 4-2 going in the third period. Sherlock's choice. He is choosing down. He's choosing down here, so he's looking for an escape or a reversal.
An escape and a 2-point takedown be nice.
I'm greedy, Mr. Gamper. I'll take the reversal and back.
That would be even better.
Let's see how Noggle tries to work Tyson here.
Trying to keep the wrist control, keep his head down, keep that pressure down. That makes it very difficult for the bottom man. Minute and a half left. You know, the one thing I've been impressed with Tyson so far is he wrestles the whole match, and he's certainly got his hands full here with Coleman.
Looked like he almost tried to swing his legs over and get the reversal. Coach Holmes telling him to fight hands under there.
He's got to get his wrists free if he's going to get out. And
1 minute to go in the match. 1 minute to go here. Noggle up 4-2. Sherlock's got to get himself out or over. Let's see. And by over, I don't mean on his back. I mean on top of Noggle here. There we go. Effort. Nope. Noggle still has control as they go off the edge.
So we got 38 seconds.
This is where your conditioning would normally come in.
And this is where not having a lot of mat time,
yeah.
I think, makes a difference. You know, it's one thing to run, but conditioning for wrestling, you've got to wrestle. You're using so much of your body. It's just a different form of conditioning.
Okay, 20 seconds to go. Tyson's now or never here for Sherlock. Noggle obviously just going to try to hold on.
So
10 seconds.
In the old days, which would have been when I wrestled.
Almost. Good effort there.
Good effort.
But strong match from Noggle.
A good match between two good wrestlers, and as you pointed out, Brooks, they'll be seeing each other, I think, in each other's future.
Indeed. Next up, we've got a couple more freshmen here for the Greyhounds, trying to build the culture and build the room here in the Greyhound program. So we've got a good group of freshmen. So the next one we're going to see is John Collison here. John Collison taking on Chris Clayton.
Chris is a junior, I believe. So he's been in the room with the Gales for a while.
And don't turn your view, because when John Collison's on the mat, something's going to happen. We're not always sure exactly what, but he's aggressive, he's energetic, and so let's see what that looks like today. A little throw there. Lost the arm control. Fighting.
He's got to step back.
Good
step back through that.
Yep. Good fight there. Still even here, just starting the first period here. John Collison and Chris Clayton. Coach Holmes really looking for John to obviously maximize the energy, but slow down just a little bit so he can execute some of what he's being taught.
But he's got, if he can get
got
that
his
leg
head
in.
out. Yeah,
John got a good counter there to that.
He just took an elbow to the grill.
He was looking for a cradle. He wasn't able to lock in on it.
1 minute into the period, John Collison earning the first points here. What's he trying to do there, picking up the leg? He's still trying to work a cradle? Should drive him out here. Take him out. Keep your advantage.
You can see the difference here. John was not able to keep Chris Clayton's head down, and that gave Chris the opportunity to get a gap and almost get his escape.
Clayton quick off the whistle. John trying to hold on here and does so. Keeps his advantage. 30 seconds to go in this first period. Trying to work a half, maybe.
John's doing a little better job there on Clayton.
Coach encouraging Chris Clayton to get right up, so we'll see how John handles this off the whistle.
The first move from the bottom is unfortunately, John locked his hands there. That was a free move. So that's a technical violation, so that's a 1
point.
1 point.
for Clayton. Back to it. We got 16 seconds left in this first period. Clock is not running. Okay, so
there we just caught it.
Yep, clock was not running, but it's running now. So
I'd say they're at the end of the period.
Yeah,
they're going to
call the period there.
Yeah.
All right, end of the first period.
So
we got 2-2 score.
The
here.
red corner gets it. So St. Joe's choice.
If you're just joining us, my name is Brooks Matthews. I'm joined by Mr. Bill Gamper. We are watching Gilman and St. Joe wrestle here. We're in the third match of the day. John Collison for Gilman, Chris Clayton for St. Joe. Just starting period 2. Okay, active.
Yeah. John's not stopping that first move, and Clayton's doing a good job of keeping moving. And all right, so John's going to give up the escape and work for a takedown here.
So now Clayton is ahead 3-2 early in this second period of action between these two. So what do we think, John? What's John's go-to takedown?
He tends to like a high crotch or a duck under. But, you know, he, like so many of the freshmen, is trying to figure that out. I don't think I could point to too many of them who have a favorite. They're learning. Now he's into a front headlock. See if he can use that. He's got to keep that down and keep that pressure on that head.
Can he use his leg here to try to break?
Clayton, he shrugged that by and was able to get the 2. John's got to peel that off and get his head up off the mat.
Okay, 5-2 Clayton here. 1 minute to go in this second period, and he's in trouble now. Was that back? No back points there. So it's still 5-2 as Clayton tries to work on John. 40 seconds to go in this period. Let's see how John handles being on the bottom here. Tough young man.
So Clayton has him stopped. Now the question is, can John free up his wrists and get moving again? And now his ankle's caught.
We got
stalling
on red.
Yeah, because he can't clamp that without working the upper body. So that he warned him for stalling. So no harm done unless he gets hit again for stalling.
I like the quick whistle for stalling. I like that. Let's keep the
boys
wrestling.
Keeps the boys wrestling.
That's right. 20 seconds to go.
Too bad John had a shot there, cutting that through. Now he's got to shake him down. Let's see if he can.
About 10 seconds here in this second period. Again, as we would expect here from a St. Joe wrestler, Chris Clayton looks very, very comfortable and accomplished here. He knows what he's trying to do here on the mat. All right, going into the third period here. Clayton up 5-2.
Okay, so we're in the third period. Collison is taking the bottom. He's got to make up 3 points. 4 would be better.
And John trying to be quick off that first whistle, but Clayton grabbed that ankle, kept him from getting up.
Got to get back over his base and get up. So he's got. So that's at least a 2 point near fall.
Okay. 7-2
extends
now.
that gap. And
If you're John Collison, you just got to keep fighting, right? This is how you learn.
You got to find. This is where you got to dig into that that reserve tank and find that burst of energy.
He's working. He's trying. Here we go.
Clayton's been able to keep that leg in, which has kept the pressure forward.
Another use.
Got 45 seconds left, so John's got to hit a big move here.
What's Clayton got there?
He's got a cross body ride in, and he's forward. He's underneath the arms, which helps him keep pressure on. So right now, there, if John can get his head, he could get it a quick. There, he's got one.
Oh, he did. Okay, good. He got the escape.
If he could have gotten that head and pulled it under, he could have gotten two and maybe more. He's got to go in. He's looking for the throw. He's there. He hit the throw. He's hit the throw. He's got two and probably three.
Look at John Collison. 3 seconds. Is he going to be able to pull it off?
He should get three
he
there.
Gets three back points. That's going to give him an 8-7 win.
Yeah, John.
That's what you get from just got to get that mat time, right? Where you can fight. Good sportsmanship at the end.
Well, it was John knew what he had to do. He knew he needed a big move, and he went for the headlock, and he got it. And once he got it, he stayed with it and tightened it up and was able to get those 5 points.
Wrestle to the end. Wrestle to the end. Okay, next up here we have another freshman for the Gilman team, Buck Franklin, taking on sophomore Gabe Rupp for St. Joe.
Well, the Franklin name in wrestling is big here at Gilman, and I hope that doesn't put too much pressure on Buck. But his father, Henry, helps coach and was a wrestler here at Gilman. His two uncles both wrestled here at Gilman. So he is...
and his grandfather has been...
a wrestling fanatic.
Right?
No, he never wrestled, yeah.
President maybe of the...
Well, he was the founder of the Maryland Independent School Wrestling Tournament, which has become the qualifier for the national preps out of the state of Maryland.
In the meantime, a very nice reversal here by Buck Franklin. So he's taken that takedown and reversed it. So now he's got 2 points and is trying to work himself a cradle maybe, it looks like?
He's working the cradle, but he's in a little bit of danger because the
a little too high,
Rupp
right?
has got that far leg, and he's able to turn that into a reversal.
Okay, so don't blink. The action is fast and furious out here.
Points are being scored.
So we got 45 seconds to go here in this first period. It's a 4-2 for Rupp.
Going to go back and get a new start in the center.
And Buck's got that. He's got the psychological part down, right? He jogs himself back to the circle right away.
He wants to show that he's ready to go.
He is. What's he got?
He's in good shape.
Get his head here. He might turn him, right?
He might.
Has he got Rupp's head?
He does. He's
out.
Not quite yet. No.
Well,
Rupp could still dump him, and they're still giving control to Rupp.
He's got to work around.
Yeah, that arm there is the key. He's got to clear that arm. There, he got it. Should at least he gave him 2.
He did get his 2, and now he's trying to work for the back.
Yeah, he's working that cradle, but I don't think he's going to have time.
All right, that's the end of the first period. Very exciting. Two a takedown and 3 reversals here. It's 4-4 after one period. Buck Franklin's going to choose to start the second period down, which has been okay for him in this match. He's gotten 2 reversals so far. So let's see if he can get himself a third.
Yeah, not a particularly good first move. Yeah, he's
Get
coming
working
up.
to his base.
He's coming up.
Oh. Rupp's breaking him back down. Here we go.
That
Coach Holmes encouraging him to get to his feet here. 30 seconds into this second period.
You know, having been a wrestler and hearing that from a coach, you know that's what you want to do. It's just not sometimes as easy as the coach makes it sound.
We got a little stalemate. No.
We got blood. We got blood.
So blood on Rupp for the being attended to by the Mount St. Joe trainer. So what was Buck Franklin able to do on those two reversals?
Well, he was able to get himself a gap that he could cut through, and as he cut through, he almost caught the cradle, but time ran out on him on there. So I think he's continuing to move. What he's got to be very careful of as we start, when he starts on bottom, is not letting his wrist get caught. He's got to clear that, and it'd be far better for the man on bottom, which is Buck, is to control your opponent's hand, and that gives you the opportunity to work, for numerous things, from a stand-up to a sit-back series. So
Buck's getting some coaching there from Coach Holmes and his dad, Henry Franklin, who, as you mentioned, wrestled here. Henry was a two-time MSA champion for the Gilman Greyhounds.
Then went and wrestled at Pennsylvania, University of Pennsylvania.
Played some lightweight football and wrestled at UPenn. And we're getting ready to get back to it. Here we go. We are 1:18 to go in this second period. It is a 4-4 score here in this match between Buck Franklin and Gabe Rupp. And if you're just joining us, thank you for tuning in to GTV.
Wasn't able to clear that.
Reaching, looks like he's reaching again for the head.
He's got to clear that leg.
Grabbed the hand, Buck got the hand. Good recognition there as Rupp tried to get a cradle. Buck was able to grab his hand.
He's got to cut through that.
Turning, spinning. Is he getting himself another reversal? He's not only reversal, he's got him on his back. Here we go. Buck Franklin trying to finish off Gabe Rupp.
He's got 25
He's got the weight on
seconds.
the shoulder, just what he needs, right?
Yeah. He's got to, if he can get a little bit more perpendicular.
20 seconds to go.
Ten seconds. What he doesn't want to do now is certainly give up any points. He wants to collect these
Trying
three.
to drive it. Got himself 3 back points here as the second period comes to an end. So Buck Franklin will take a 9-4 lead into the third period. It will be Gabe Rupp's choice as we start the third.
Reds, he took neutral. So he too is thinking a big move, a 2-2 or a 2-3.
Can't relax on this, right?
No, you can't relax.
You got to continue to wrestle your match. Too early to try to.
So he's heavy on that head, and that's going to make it hard. Bucks doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. He's got to be very careful there.
There we
he
go.
was able to shuck that by.
That's good. And good awareness and conditioning there from Buck to sort of fight that off and then make that spin. What we got here? We got more blood.
You gave him
3 back points there. We're going to take a brief break here.
Looks like we got blood on both of them.
Yeah, we're going to take a brief break before we come back to finish this match. welcome back to the old gym. Sometime back in the day, used to be called the Deaf Dome for the amount of noise, Coach Gamper, that used to get generated in this this old classic gymnasium. But in COVID world, we're not getting the fans that we would love to get in here. But nevertheless, a great venue here for the Gilman wrestling team, and a classic. Right, just going back decades here of a rivalry with St. Joe.
In the decades, they used to roll. They one mat in the middle of the gym, and they'd roll stands up, and literally they would create a pit, with fans not far off the mat, and it could get loud, and it could get warm, and it could be. There was a lot of good wrestling that has taken place in this gym.
And certainly back in the days of the old MSA, Coach Gamper, back in the 70s when you were wrestling, right? Gilman won 5 straight MSA championships.
We won 5 in a row, yeah.
And then St. Joe came along
actually the city broke our 5 run, and then after that St. Joe went on a tear. What a tear it was.
22 straight, I believe.
Yeah. They have won a total of 31 MIAA/MSA titles, and they've won, which is twice as many as McDonough, which is the team that's right behind them, and then Gilman comes in third with 8 MSA MIAA titles. So
and Coach Gamper, that near the beginning of that run, I was a student here. And I fondly remember, the Deaf Dome in the St. Joe Gilman wrestling match and that mat light that you were talking about. And St. Joe at that point had these long sleeve T-shirts made up and just listed the years of their championships down the sleeve. And it was quite impressive then and continued to be. All right, back to the action here. 1:24 to go in the third period. Buck Franklin up 14-4 on Gabe Rupp. Couple blood timeouts here for Rupp, and now we're back in the action. 1 minute to go here in the third period. What's Buck trying to do here?
Buck's trying to gain control of that wrist, and he's trying to stay under the arms, so to keep his weight moving forward. There, he's got a spiral ride in there now, and he's pushing forward and across, looking to collapse him as he is there, and then he could catch a cradle.
Again, just to echo the theme, right? Great experience here for a young wrestler trying to ride out a guy here in the third period.
No matter what the score is, the idea is to get this experience and to keep pressuring through the full 6 minutes. I don't think some people realize how long 6 minutes can really be. It's
25 seconds to go. Buck looks like he's going to ride this out to a victory here. Nice win here for Buck Franklin and the Greyhounds. And that's going to do it. Buck Franklin with a 14-4 victory over Gabe Rupp. And next up, a quick look. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to see Alan Gushu today, one of our young guns who's been wrestling in a very competitive, wrestling well in a competitive weight class. But the wrestler he was going to wrestle for St. Joe has an injury and won't be able to wrestle. So we're going to move on to Daniel Griffin, a junior, one of the guys that Coach Franklin has been relying on to be a leader. And this is Griffin's first match of the season coming off a non-wrestling injury. And what a tough match he's got here, Coach.
He's wrestling a very good Mount St. Joe wrestler who's placed the last 2 years in states, been a national qualifier, and placed and in fact won numerous other tournaments. So not the one you necessarily want to come back to. But again, if you're going to, he's a junior and he's got to be willing to face the best wrestlers. And so that's that's the task that's in front of him.
And you know, in talking with Daniel last week, when he still wasn't able to even wrestle last week, Daniel was scheduled to be doing this broadcast, Coach Camper, but after the first match, he just couldn't sit on the sidelines anymore, and he and Coach Holmes, you know, just communicated about it, and obviously Daniel got doctor's clearance to get back out here on the mat. I think probably a little bit earlier than maybe initially scheduled. So to his credit, right, he wants to be out here for his teammates and for the school. But a tall task here against Jacob Wright.
And he's managing to hold on. He's not breaking that 45 angle. He tried to roll through. He got most of the way through, but now he's gotten caught. So the count's on.
30 seconds to go here in the first period. Jacob Wright's looking to finish this.
Near fall at the moment, and hopefully Daniel can extend this match into the second period and get some more wrestling in. There we go.
There you go.
That's good. That's good for him to fight off his back.
10 seconds here if he can continue to fight off Jacob and live to wrestle in a second period. There we go. So, you know, tough first period there for Daniel, but it's only 5-0. So, you know, he's got a chance here to turn this thing around a little bit. Won't be easy against the great wrestler. Starting on bottom as we begin the second period.
Okay, so Jacob jumped the gun there, and so that's a caution. You get, on the third caution, you lose a point. You get 2 freebies, so to speak. But on the third caution, if you jump third time, then the penalty point's awarded. So, like many other of the St. Joe wrestlers, Jacob Wright is using his legs and then working the head and neck, trying to get his back points.
So, do teams have styles, or do wrestlers have individual styles?
I think that depends a lot on the coach, you know, and how he coaches. If you know that, I would say wrestlers definitely have styles. And then within a program, if a coach likes a certain style of wrestling or likes certain moves, he's certainly going to emphasize those in the practice room.
And certainly, you know, St. Joe's coach Barnaby was a great wrestler in his own right, you know, at St. Joe. You know, his team has won 5 straight Maryland States. Yeah. And you don't do that without, you know, understanding how to produce great wrestlers. And so Jacob Wright finishes the fall here on Daniel Griffin. And tough, like we said, tough match to come back with for Daniel, but well executed by Jacob Wright. Now, probably.
And speaking of tough matches.
Indeed, indeed. So next up for Gilman is Dylan Kamenetz. And Dylan has the misfortune of being in probably one of the toughest weight classes in the area. He's wrestled twice this year, both times against state champs. He's taking on another state champ today in Clement Sweetness Woods, the senior captain for this Mount St. Joe team.
Who was a first place winner in the States and then also took a 4th at national preps. So Clement is a good wrestler.
Dylan,
but I like the fact that Dylan
went
in. He went in and became aggressive, and that's, I think, really good.
Absolutely.
That's the mindset you want, you know, that it's a good shot, wasn't able to complete it. And sometimes that helps your psyche as a wrestler. You get in on that shot, and you're almost there, and so.
Sure, it's like making the first shot of a game in basketball or lacrosse or something, right? Like you want to have that initial success right away, make that first save if you're a goalie.
Okay, now we'll see what Dylan can do on bottom.
All right, Woods with the takedown. 1 minute, 5 seconds to go here in this first period. Dylan continuing to be active. gets himself out.
Dillon is able to avoid the cradle and come
Escape.
through it and get the escape.
Little mask adjustment, really, for
Yeah,
both wrestlers
that has
here.
been a strange part of the season. Kids wrestling with masks. It's not an easy thing, and certainly keeping the masks up is a challenge. Oh.
Another
Shot
aggressive
and then a
shot.
reshot. Good flurry there by both wrestlers. But I'm happy to see Dillon's, there's the front headlock. And he was able to get it.
Dillon's got some fight in him, though. 30 seconds to go here in this first period. It's going to be... And that's it. 23 seconds to go in this first period. And the fall for Clement Woods. Another tough opponent for Dillon. All right, next up on the queue, we got Patrick Benjeme from Gilman and Colin Krause from St. Joe, two juniors.
Don't know much about Colin. Patrick is, again, one of those wrestlers who needs mat time. As a JV wrestler last year, he had a pretty successful season. Was able to break the varsity lineup a couple of times when we needed him. But he needs as much mat experience as we can give him.
Great guy to have in the room, right? Like Patrick is just going to do whatever you ask him to do with full percentage.
Yeah, he wants to do well, and so he is a good presence in the wrestling room.
Again, one more interesting, just back to this great history of both of these teams. You know, as I mentioned with you, Coach Camper, you've been at a couple other schools, and that 22-year streak by the St. Joe Gales was broken by the Calvert Hall Cardinals. And you may ask, why am I bringing that up? Because the Calvert Hall Cardinals that year, 1998, were coached by
Henry
Franklin and assistant coach Todd Crandall, a Gilman classmate of Franklin's. And so, if you're a wrestler, you love the sport and you're going to stay involved.
Well, when you look at the lists, every now and then there's a name, a school's name that pops in there. I mean, in the 2015, John Carroll won the MIAA, and Spalding has won it, and Curley had a couple years when they were on top. So it's fun to watch a program, have a great year, and I happen to think it's time for Gilman to have another great year or two.
We've got they got some good young wrestlers, so they just got to keep building.
Yeah.
So Krause here with just a couple seconds left in this first period got the takedown and has kind of ridden Benjeme to the end of the first period. And so 2-0 Krause here as we look to the second period. Patrick's choice, and he's going to defer.
And so
Krause has chosen down, it looks like.
Yep.
So we'll see what kind of moves here, what kind of strategy Patrick's got for being on top and trying to get himself some back points and or a fall. Wide base for Krause. We've seen that on several wrestlers when they're trying to get out. Obviously, great fundamentals. Just off the mat before Krause can finish his reversal. Krause gets the escape there.
So both guys are trying to get the inside position on these tie-ups. Again, working that front headlock, and he's able to catch that knee. Not good.
Here we go. Krause still got 50 seconds left here, and that's it. A pin.
It's a little disappointing for Patrick. I was hoping he'd do a little better.
Okay, next up, we have Jack Nurnberger, who's in roughly the same weight class as Dylan Kamenetz, and so like Dylan, Jack has faced incredibly good competition here in these first few matches, and today he's got a freshman in front of him who's got some accomplishments from the junior league.
Yeah, he's a
Jesse Rapazzo.
So we'll see how this goes. Jack was an MIAA place winner last year, as you mentioned, he's been in tough weight classes both last year and certainly this year. He has managed to see good competition, and he's got to, as a junior now, he's got to start stepping up to that competition.
Pazzo trying to work himself around. Now he's got, what, a front headlock there?
Yeah.
See how Jack counters that.
There's a
and
nice,
there we
nice
go.
dump.
Well
really
done by
nice
Jack.
Dump.
Well done. Pazzo told his father was also a wrestler, and Jesse is also a baseball player. It's great to see multiple sport athletes. Let's see how Jack works him here. Still over a minute to go in this first period.
Jack's got the cross body right in, so now he's going to see what he tries to do. He's going to work the arm. So he's going to look for a guillotine here.
I love the sound of that.
Yeah. Now he's going to try a power half. He's got a little too far forward now, and that's not good.
Oh, so Rapazzo is able to get the reversal.
Yeah, he got too far forward on that.
You were in simpatico there with Coach Holmes, who was also calling for the power half, Coach Gamper.
Well, I'd like to say great minds think alike. But actually, in this sport, you don't want to think. You just want to feel it and react. Because when you think, by the time you think about it, the opportunity's gone. Now, he's got a cradle, but Jack was able to get that arm through, which he's got to get the head off the mat.
Get his head out. There we go. He's got it, right? He's got the reversal.
Not yet. Now he's
just got the reversal. Now he's trying to lift the head and finish.
Now he should be getting some back points.
Good
4 seconds.
Good execution by Jack. Got 2 back points there.
So he ends the first period with a 6-2 lead.
That looks like an experienced wrestler there. That's what you hope to see from a guy who's had some success and continues to grow as a wrestler. So good first period for Jack. Let's see. He's going to start the second period here on top. See if he can finish off Rapazzo, but Rapazzo has showed a lot of spunk.
So Jack has there he's got both legs in there, and at least enough to break him flat. So now he's got to keep the pressure on and work him. Now,
of course, I've mentioned that Gilman has some good freshman wrestlers, and Coach Barnaby is also very.
He's very high on his young kids still.
Very high on his freshmen. He's very excited.
He lost a lot of kids last year, and St. Joe, I think right now has 11 kids, 11 graduates, not all last year, but 11 graduates currently wrestling in college programs. That's quite impressive.
Very impressive, and highlighted by Cody Tribus down at the Naval Academy, who is a senior captain, and at this point he's preparing for the NCAA wrestling tournament. So
he just, I think, did he win the Easterns, I think, and qualified for the Nationals. So yeah. So Jack just gave up 2 points. He doesn't want to give up any more.
45 seconds here. Rapazzo, Nurnberger. This is an active match.
There we go.
A lot of back and forth here.
You know what I like is that both of these kids are willing to try things. You know,
Absolutely.
I got to give a lot of credit to Rapazzo that he's willing to try stuff. It's great to watch.
26 seconds to go here in this second period. It is 10-3 Nurnberger. And we've got a brief timeout.
Do we have a blood timeout or do we have an injury timeout?
I'm not sure. If you're just joining us, they just put the clock on. So
it's a blood. Well, the blood, if they have a blood timeout, they have 5 minutes of blood time. And then if it's an injury, they have 2 minutes.
Got it. So this is definitely blood time. We're going to take a brief break here as they attend to blood on Jesse Rapazzo. Coming right back.
Stretch.
All right. And so when I say we're coming right back because they're all taken care of. As I said, 24 seconds to go here in period 2. If you're just joining us, I'm Brooks Matthews with Coach Bill Gamper. We are sorry that you have to listen to us instead of our student announcers, but they are active in all kinds of sports right now with winter and spring both in play. But we're happy to bring you this match. Storied programs between Gilman and St. Joe. Nurnberger is going to finish up this second period.
Finishes with a 10-3 lead. It's Gilman's choice. Jack is going to take the bottom.
All right, we're going to start period 3 here, underway. Let's see what kind of moves Rapazzo has from the top. Again, some more of that familiar leg control that we've seen from
St. Joe using the legs. Jack's able to turn through it, but he's the one thing you don't want to do is get a cradle.
Did he get the cradle?
Yeah, he's got the cradle. It's one thing you want to do is you want to keep your head away from your knee. Your head gets near your knee, and Rapazzo did a great job catching that.
Jack's trying to roll out of it and create a reversal almost. Any back points there? Still waiting.
I think there are, but they won't award them until this hold's broken.
So still a minute to go here in the third period. Rapazzo doing just what he needed to, getting control and putking Jack Nurnberger on his back.
There's 2 back points.
Two back points are awarded.
5-point spread right now.
10-5 Nurnberger. 50 seconds to go.
Jack's got to keep his wrists clear and get back to his base, get over his hips. "15 seconds. Jack's going to try. If he brings that head through, there he's got his reversal.
Got his reversal, and that's going to do it. As the third period and match comes to an end, Jack Nurnberger earning his first win, and well done. First win of the year, well done. Jack, got to continue. Wrestling's nothing if not about perseverance, right, Coach?
Yep.
Okay. Before we get to the next match, a quick update from the Gilman squash team. Blake and Heath O'Tenesack both have wins. Isaac Mitchell, John Williams also have wins. Their opponent is McDonough. The other match is still underway, so it's looking good for the Gilman squash team right now. On the mat, we've got Marcus Walker for Gilman coming off a pin on Monday at McDonough, and he's taking on Logan Pruitt, a freshman.
Another one of the freshmen who had some success in the Maryland Junior League, so Marcus is a very athletic kid who last year progressed quite well and was took a third place in the Maryland JV state tournament. So we would love to see him show some more progress this year, even in this shortened season.
Yeah, the fact that everyone has worked so hard to allow these guys to get out here and do this.
That's a nice dump
by Pruitt.
So great dump. Good move by Pruitt.
1:13 to go in the period. It's 2-1 Pruitt. And again, just to finish my thought, just really appreciative of all that's been done in order to get these guys on the mat so that they can compete.
Certainly, I think a lot of us thought in the coaching ranks that we weren't going to see anything happen, and it's kind of frustrating because you look to our north in Pennsylvania, they're actually starting their super regionals for their state. They've been wrestling all winter. So it was good to have this opportunity, and it's only 6 matches for these kids, but you know what? Those are 6 matches that a lot of other kids didn't get. So.
And no small amount of credit to the boys also, because they gotta follow protocols. They gotta be smart in their activities and take care of themselves. And so it's just been a good test of perseverance on the score of a lot of people. But so much credit to our health officials for being able to make it so that these guys can get out here. Good flurry here from these two wrestlers. About 15 seconds to go in this first period. Both are definitely trying to get score some points here before the end. Trying to snap the head there.
Yeah, he's trying to control the head and there, pop it and go.
Good defense by Marcus against that exact move. All right. As I said, 2-1 Pruitt here going into the second period. All right, Walker on top as we begin period 2. Pruitt trying to fight the hand control. Marcus trying to maintain and break him back down.
Okay, Marcus is being warned because he's not taking him back, not attempting to take him back to the mat.
He's got to hold that leg. No, Pruitt.
He held on too long, I'm afraid.
Okay. That's that split-second decision you got to make. Hard to replicate in a non-match.
Not if you're not wrestling, yeah. You
Oh.
That was a quick fall, but.
Wow. Well done by Pruitt, however. Tough turn of events for Marcus Walker. Now, next up would be on our schedule was Matthias Stretch Carroll, who's already 4-0 despite only 3 matches. He's 4-0 because he wrestled twice the other day. But
my understanding is he was coming down from Bel Air and there was an accident on 95 and he got caught up. He wasn't in the accident, but he's caught up in the traffic jam. So I'm not sure whether he's still in transit or whether he just turned around and went home, as I haven't gotten an update.
Got it. So instead, we just move forward, and we've got David Polsky for Gilman and Ignacio Campos for Mount St. Joe, and 2 sophomores here.
2 sophomores, and David is an aggressive kid, but sometimes careless. So we'll see how he handles this match today.
Campos tried to get in there, but David did a great
Polsky's
job getting the leg.
He had that hip turning. If he should have kept driving on that.
Head out to the side and drive.
Yep, he's going into
Coach
a double
Holmes,
leg
and
takedown.
there we go. Almost.
Keep going. He's got to
He's
turn the
it.
corner on that, and he's got to step over with that leg.
Lost the second leg, but he's still got a good hold on the first one. Now he's reaching up.
He's getting a little.
Whoa. Yeah. Extending himself a little bit there. Gets in a vulnerable position.
35 seconds left. See you.
Campos works
Campos
around.
was able to control the head and get behind.
Five seconds left here in this first period. Looks like we're gonna go to second period with Campos with a 2-0 lead. It is the choice of Gilman. Polsky is deferring, and so Campos will have choice.
He's shaking down, so David's got to break him down and start to wear him down.
Campos tries for the up and out right away. David is able to maintain control.
He's staying on the hips. It's good. But Campos is staying active and trying to create that gap that he can come through. Polsky's gotten himself too high.
Campos got his head out and got the reversal.
And then David ran out of mat space to re-reverse him.
If you're just joining us, where have you been?
Yeah, precisely.
Gilman St. Joe wrestling here. It's always a great matchup. We are in the second period, minute 30 to go, of a match between Ignacio Campos of St. Joe and David Polsky of Gilman. 4-0 Campos at this moment. Campos trying to work.
He's got to get that head off the mat and get that hip down, that right hip down. There we go. Now he's got to get back to his base. He dropped the head.
Campos trying to drive him. He's got head control, and he's just trying to drive.
There's an illegal full Nelson.
Put that second hand back there, right?
Yep. Doesn't make any difference if there's pressure or not. As soon as those hands touch, that's a point.
All right. 4-1 here. A minute 20
clock
to go.
Excuse me.
In the second period. Campos still on top.
Let's see if don't.
Again, look to me, right? Put that second hand back there again. And gets a come on, dude, from his coach. Focus, right?
Well, now that David's been given, that should be a caution.
Mental test here, right? Like you gotta maintain your focus. Again.
Well, David's been given a gift of 2 points. Now he's got to take advantage of that and score on his own.
Coach is imploring him to get the leg. Campos continues to work. What is that, a half?
Yeah, it's a half. Come on, now he's
going for a cradle now. David grabs his head. If he can throw him and get the reversal. No, not quite. Not quite. Good effort. Good effort by Polsky. But good defense.
He's got to
by Campos. We got 10 seconds left here in this second period. Looks like it's going to stay this way. Campos looks content to ride out these last few seconds of the period. Scores 4-2 Campos as we head to the third period.
So David's going to take neutral.
This is where we need to see one of those shots that Coach Holmes likes to talk about, right? Where you're an airplane taking off as opposed to an airplane crashing, right? Got to take that shot and lift.
You come in and then go up. You don't go down. You don't go with your head into the mat.
No.
David has a tendency, as you may have just seen, of reaching a little too much, and that opens him up.
Campos gets the takedown. Polsky gets a good hold on that leg, though. Campos counters. Got a cross face there. Polsky. Polsky's a squirmer. He can get out of this. And he does. Gets the reversal. 8-4 now. 8-4 Campos with a minute to go here in the third period.
Okay, I'm not sure. Let's sort this out. He got 2 back points. Campos got 2 back points. Polsky should get a reversal. I don't know whether he got any back points.
I feel like 8-4 was right, but they're going to take a check of this. Mr. Vince Fernari, our veteran wrestling referee, joining us today. Always good to have experience out here for the boys. Just a quick update here on the Gilman wrestling schedule. They have a bye this Friday, so Coach Gamber, they might actually be able to get some practice in. What do you think about that?
It'd be good to get some practice in, some repetitions. You know, you've been a coach, Brooks, and the only way you learn is through repetition. You teach your body what it's supposed to do, and repetitions on takedowns, repetitions on escapes, and all those are really, really important. And then what you hope is you get a chance to compete, and you then try those moves that you've been learning, and hopefully those repetitions pay off.
Especially, you know, we've talked about the unique schedule this year. Usually these guys are wrestling in tournaments, like you said, and they get a few matches in a day, and so you don't really get to dwell if you don't have a good match.
No, you just got to move right to the next one. In
this situation, sometimes you dwell, right? You know,
right.
You have this match today, and if it didn't go well, you got to stew on it for a few days.
Well, let's watch here now. See what.
1 minute to go here
8-4
in the third period. Daniel's down 8-4, so he needs to get him on his back. Score some back points.
I'm not so sure. He wouldn't have been better letting him go and then trying for the big move. He's putting himself in some trouble right now.
But does he have Campos' shoulder blades close to the mat or not? Too far up. This is an unusual position. Uh-oh. Yeah, this doesn't look good for Polsky.
Do reversal.
And now Campos gets the pin. The reversal and the pin with 16 seconds to go in the third period for the win.
You know, coming back to your point when you're talking about matches, you know, I look back at Coleman Noggle, who wrestled Tyson Sherlock. And last year he was 41-9, so that's a lot of matches.
Indeed.
It's a lot of matches.
Indeed. All right, we're looking at Vinay Mahashwari, another sophomore for Gilman, and Ryan Beale, yet another freshman for Mount St. Joe Gales. Coach Holmes had a lot of great things to say about Vinay, Coach Gamper, his work ethic, his commitment. He's been really impressed with his commitment to wrestling. You know, he feels like Vinay is very close to making that next step.
Yeah, he's, you know, this is where I think a shortened season Yeah, it's going to be it's more challenging for Vinay because he doesn't get the experiences that he needs. But he has come a long way. By the end of last year, when he had a lot of matches, you could see the improvement. So he's got to knock the rust off and get, he pulled him on top of himself rather than got control of the hips.
Yeah, he kept his hips under instead of flipping them over, right?
Yeah, you want to cover his hips, not have.
What's a Peterson?
It's a roll, and he's got unfortunately, he didn't go through the legs, he went around the legs. He still might have a chance at it. We'll see how he. Again, the head went near the knee, and that's not a good thing when you're on bottom.
.30 seconds to go here in this first period. Beale is up 2-0 on Vinay Mahashwari of Gilman. And he's trying to work him for sure.
This is where you don't want to be. You don't want to be flat. You don't want to be with your head in the mat. Let's see if
under 10 seconds, and Mahashwari could not stay off his back. Let's see if he can fight for the final 5. And he does. He's able to prevent a fall, but giving him a 5-0 lead to start the second period.
Okay. Vinay deferred. Beale is going to go down. See if Vinay can tie him up and maybe get some back points. He needs to score. See if he can snap that.
Good strength there by Mahashwari.
He's working a half, but he doesn't have him broken down. And that's... he just came back to haunt him.
Reversal by Beale. Adding to his lead, 7-0. 1:20 to go in this period, and Vinay's got some work to do. And that's it, unfortunately, for Vinay. Well executed by Beale.
Well, we have a string of freshmen here for Gilman to finish it up, and all these guys had done a little bit of wrestling in our middle school, and they are progressing, and we'll see.
First up of those freshmen is Nick Letski. He's going to take on Dom Amile, also a freshman from Mount St. Joe. Again, another wrestler that Coach Holmes described as really into it, right? He likes Nick's commitment, and that's something that you can't teach.
Yeah.
Amile with the double leg. Takedown for 2 points. Letski.
He might be, oh, there you go. He's going to turn to his base now.
You know, Nick wrestled last week against Loyola and was fearless, right? He looked like he was in some really bad positions and was able to kind of get himself out of it, you know. So he's gonna give you what he's got.
You know, that's something. These guys are relatively inexperienced, and they're going to make mistakes. But the good thing is they just keep coming back, and they got to learn a little bit more when they make those mistakes, so that they don't make them a second or a third time. But
again, good fight there as Amile tried to work to the back. Oh, he did. He earned himself 3 back points. 5-0 Amile right now. Under a minute to go here in this first period.
And it appears that I think Nick got a reversal there. Yeah.
We're a little bit screened.
Yeah, he did. He got two.
Outstanding work there by Nick Letski. And so we'll come back to the middle, and Nick will be on top.
46 seconds left.
A lot of time left in this first period. Let's see what Nick's able to do. Amile trying to pop right away.
Unfortunately, he locked his hands.
One point for Amile on the locking of hands by Letski. Okay, but back to it.
There, he's got the wrist now. That'll help him out and control the man while he's down on bottom. He's got to keep pressure on it. Then he can start working for his halves or his bar arms.
Good effort there, trying to drive, using the leg drive.
He's got his half in, but again, he tends to get a little too high on the half.
He's got the leg. Nope.
He's got to let it go. He's got to let it go. He's got to let it go.
Reversal by Amile. 30 seconds here to go in this second period. Again, Letski getting a reversal. He's got a half, right?
He's got a headlock.
Headlock, sorry.
Now he's reversed it into a half. He's in good shape there.
Nick Letski, as advertised,
30 seconds.
Fearless, maybe in a bad spot, but he can work himself out of it. Impressive by Nick Letski.
You know, that's what you like to see in a freshman. He gave up some early points, but he didn't stop wrestling. And that's really an encouraging thing to see.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Some good life there. Let's see if Tyler Axelbund, another freshman for the Hounds, see if he can build on that, take some momentum and energy from his teammate as he takes on Patrick Tiss, sophomore from Mount St. Joe.
Tyler wrestled his first match against McDonough, and he had a pretty good opponent, and unfortunately he didn't win. But again, it's a matter of getting the match time and the mat time.
Aggressive start from Tiss, a lot of hands. Head slaps and head control, maybe set up a snap to the single, it looks like he's trying to work. He's got the
front headlock.
Front headlock. Tyler's using quick feet here to keep him from getting around. But
nice snap.
Patrick Tiss is able to get around and get the 2 points. I always feel like I should call this the wheelbarrow when they pick up that ankle like that and try to drive a guy. Probably not very technical.
Again, Tyler's just he's got to keep moving, and he's got to set the tempo and
1 minute to go here in the first period. Patrick Tiss trying to work Tyler Axelbund of Gilman.
Just is trying to work the half. Tyler's sort of clamming up on him. He's got to turn that hip down, get back over his hips, and try to get some motion. Get a gap in order to get an escape or a reversal. Just was looking for the cradle there. Didn't catch it.
Ten seconds here in this first period. Tiss really trying to take the energy out of Axelbund here.
He's using good pressure.
Absolutely, a lot of pressure on the head. Maybe a mat burn or two there.
In the old days, it's a good way to get cauliflower ear before they started.
Looks like we may have a little blood as well here from Tyler. We're going to take care of that as the blood time starts on the clock. Again, my name is Brooks Matthews. And I'm sorry that you have to hear me instead of one of our more talented student commentators, but they are all active with their winter and spring sports. Luckily, I'm joined by the 1971 most outstanding wrestler at the MSA tournament, Bill Gamper, who's able to tell us what's going on here.
Well, that was a long time ago. But I did wrestle a few matches in this. You know, coming back to that, you know, the wrestlers now are wrestling 50 matches a year. My senior year, I wrestled 19. That included all the, you know,
all the
tournaments and everything.
End of season tournaments.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, kids wrestle 19 now before we even get to Christmas. It's an amazing difference. You know, for some kids, I think it's really good, and for others, I think it's a grind. So
part of the year-round sports that we're seeing,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Well, but that's all in a season, though. That's the strange thing. Of course, back in those days, Gilman and in fact, none of the schools here in Baltimore went up to national preps. That didn't start until later in the 70s. So.
Okay, Patrick Tiss with a quick escape and a quick single
quick
leg
shot. Yeah,
takedown here of Axelbund.
He's setting the tempo of the match right now. That's it.
5-0 Tiss. As Axelbund tries to fight his way up, but Tiss breaks him right back down. A little dangerous if Tyler can get a roll here.
Turn, don't reach
Nope.
back. You don't want to reach back there.
This looks familiar. This is where Patrick Tiss spent most of the first period, riding Tyler. Very draining. We'll see if what Tyler's got in the tank here. He's showed some good fight so far. Is that Tiss trying to work the cradle?
Yeah, I think he's got it now. The question is he's got to get that.
Oh, he pulled him back. Hard to see exactly from our vantage point, but Patrick Tiss is clearly in control here.
I think his shoulder's up on top of Tyler's shoulders up on top of Tiss's
chest, maybe.
Yeah,
oh,
not anymore.
There it was. Fall for Patrick Tiss, and now we've got yet another freshman, one of our young guns, Nick Howie, for Gilman. Nick has got a jiu-jitsu background, Coach Gamper, and
yeah,
so what does that do for him as a wrestler?
Well, it helps him in terms of being aggressive and being really competitive, but it's a different sport, and that sport's more upright than wrestling, and we've had to work on his stance because he tries to go upright, I think, a little too much.
You might see some throws though, right? Because jiu-jitsu has a lot of throws in it, doesn't it? Interesting. I don't know if Roswell thought they were off the mat and let him go on purpose or just thought they were off the mat. But nevertheless, Roswell now has 2 takedowns already in the first 30 seconds.
Roswell's come out strong. You know, you watched the Loyola match with Nick.
Yeah.
And he came back strong.
He certainly did.
So he's not a kid I would count out under any circumstance.
Another penalty point for Howie off a full
Nelson.
Full Nelson
Yep.
by Roswell. So as a jiu-jitsu guy, this is probably his least favorite position, right?
Yeah, being on the mat was not where he really want to be.
But see, this is what he's,
Oh.
He tried to get himself out of it and maybe put himself into it.
He grabbed the head and he put himself into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, he's got that toughness. He works himself out. 3 back points for Roswell.
That makes it 7-2.
45 seconds to go here in this first period. Interesting. 20 seconds here in this first period. Roswell trying to get, looked like he was trying to get a half, maybe?
Yeah, still trying to use the halves and bars, but Nick can pull that head.
He pulls his head out, right? He's in a position.
Yeah, he rolled it through.
Get his legs around. Get your legs around, Nick. Not quite. 4 seconds.
Okay.
Roswell's able to hold on there.
That's okay.
Good fight by Nick Howie, but Roswell maintained control. 7-2 after this first period. Roswell chose bottom here. Coach Holmes calling for the half. Nick complies.
He's an aggressive kid.
And starts to drive. There's a little high. Yeah, you got to maintain your control more than anything here. All right, Nick's going to try the half on the other side, it looks like. 30 seconds here into this second period.
I think, if Nick can wear him down a little bit, you never know what can happen at the end of the match. 5 points, as we've seen in earlier matches, can be
a tricky situation here.
He's able to
maintains control. Well done by Nick.
He
got it. He got the fall. Nick Howie, young gun, coming through against Caden Roswell.
He's a kid who you just never can count out. But he's going to make mistakes, and he'll learn from those, and that's the good thing. You like watching that. I mean, he will develop well for us.
All right, our final match of the evening. Another freshman. This is Roman Kaminsky for Gilman, and Bryce Phillips in his second match of the night.
Bryce wrestled Carson Mingo earlier in the first match of the night. So you have a freshman versus a freshman. Bryce is has I think a little bit more experience as Roman.
Coach Holmes said that Roman has taken advantage of every opportunity that Coach Holmes has opened the room. Roman's been there.
Roman's been there, and more, and he's gone and worked out with other kids off campus as well. So he's.
So this is great to see. This is his first match of the season, and so I'm sure he's very excited to put all this together here. 1 minute into this first period, we still have no score between Phillips and Kaminsky.
Oh, a low single. Nice shot.
By Phillips.
Yeah. Got to keep the head down, yeah. You let him get up. Oh, a nice kick. He didn't get out in front of that front headlock. Now he's got the whizzer in.
Can he?
But Phillips was able to finish that single.
Yep, kept him in bounds. Got his 2 points for the takedown. Still 35 seconds here in this first period of action.
Looking to put the legs in. There they go.
We have seen this before, Coach Gamper.
We have seen a lot of legs used by the St. Joe wrestlers tonight.
Very effectively for them.
Short time left in the period. New start would benefit Roman.
All right, 2-0 Phillips here as we get set for the second period of action.
Okay, as Coach Holmes pointed out, the legs are likely coming in, so Roman should know that and try to catch those legs going in so that he can come out through the back. That's a caution. No, the official's taking that one. A tilt. You know, the
2 back
Phillips,
points.
Yeah, Phillips is he's another kid, a young kid who's willing to try things. That was a nice tilt, you know, and he picked up the 2 back points off of it.
4-0 Phillips here. 1:30 to go in this second period.
Looks like he's going to try to work now. He had a bar, but let it go.
Tough position for Roman here.
And he's going to pick up the head.
That is going to test your flexibility.
And work it into...
Just under a minute to go here as Phillips works on Kaminsky. Roman continues to fight as Coach Holmes implores. There
So he gets out of it. So there's 3 more. You know,
good spunk.
You get out of that, yeah. It's good to see, because a match like this, if Roman can catch him, the match can swing very differently. Legs are in again. He's got Roman flat, so he's...
Uh-oh. There we go, Roman. Can you reverse it? And you can. Roman Kaminsky. Gave him the 2 for the reversal. It's a good spunk there. Good fight from Roman Kaminsky as Bryce Phillips controlled most of the wrestling. 7-2 Phillips going into this third period.
They can't agree here.
Well,
Coach Holmes
Coach Holmes trying to give Kaminsky a choice.
All right, so he's going to let him go. They're going to go neutral.
Assistant Coach Franklin in the background giving him a signal. So a little bit of mixed messages, but that's okay.
I'm not sure that, you know, if there's a dump, a nice dump, nicely done
by Phillips. Gets 2 points. We're at a 9-2 score here. Early in the third period, Roman Kaminsky's had to really demonstrate that toughness. Oh, Phillips is going to drag him back into the mat. Try to work him.
Scoot the hips. Scoot the hips.
As you said earlier, Coach Gamper, 6 minutes can be a long time. Credit to Bryce Phillips for continuing to wrestle hard here. And Roman Kaminsky for continuing to fight. This could be too much to ask of Roman. Still a minute to go in this third period, but he's fighting on. Bryce Phillips trying to get his weight up on that shoulder, trying to drive it
down. Head off
down.
the mat and lift. Now he lifts that arm, and I'm afraid that's...
Roman continues to
that
fight.
Shoulder down.
There, look at that, just working. Both wrestlers just working hard, but Phillips is able to get the fall. So two falls on the night for Bryce Phillips. And overall, what we have here is we have Mount St. Joe with, I believe, 10 wins on the night. Gilman with 5 wins on the night. Any last thoughts here, Coach Gamper?
Well, I thought their kids wrestled well, winning. You know, we won a number of matches. Some of those matches were close. I liked the Sherlock Noggle match. I thought that was really good and accomplished wrestlers. But there were other matches, and I liked seeing Letski come through with a win and hanging in there till the end, and then, you know, getting the pin. So the kids, I hope, got something out of it. We get a few days off, and then we go to work again on Wednesday with Calvert Hall, which would be, I think,
right here. Right
yeah,
here at Gilman.
and Calvert Hall, I think, is going to give us some opportunities to build a little confidence, and then we go away to John Carroll to finish out the season. So
Indeed. Special thanks to you, Coach Gamper, for enlightening us during the match today. Special thanks to John Williams, GTV president, for letting me take a spin on the mic. Most importantly, thank you to our tech staff, Ryan Joyce, Kent Lemkin, for their work, and of course, Mr. Cesar Sacante, who makes all this technology work for the Gilman community. Enjoy the rest of your evening. That's it for this broadcast.